25 minutes or so for those of you that are kicking off your Memorial Day weekend and looking to celebrate, and also a wonderful way to recognize those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. We have a wonderful collection coming up, and give us a sneak peek on this one, Mike. Tell us about this World War I silver dollar, and they're also getting an air service medal, right?
Well, yeah. And what happens is the United States government did a special collection in 2018 for World War I. Okay, in World War I. And so what they did is they did a special commemorative dollar commemorating World War I. That's this coin that's right here. Okay, this is the World War I commemorative dollar from the United States government. It is beautiful proof coin. It's in solid 900 fine silver. They released that coin, exceptionally rare. As you can see, the barbed wire and poppies that you're going to have in there. So, you know, war and peace, if you will, there. United States of America, so that's a silver commemorative dollar. So they released that as an individual release, if you will. Then what they did is they decided to do some 2 coin sets. And they come like in this box right here, and then they come in this special presentation. And they did an additional coin for each one of the services. So for the Air Force, and this is the Air Service Medal, okay? This is the Air Expeditionary Force that you're going to have right here from World War I. And so this is what you're going to have, and this is that. And there's the Air Service Medal that you're going to have. As you can see that, isn't that spectacular? Over there, that was what they had talked about there. That's it wasn't the Air Force quite yet, American Expeditionary Force. My assistant who does this made sure that I brought that up specifically, given that he's retired Air Force lieutenant. So
That's very
he
cool.
wanted to be abundantly clear about that. And then you have this that you're going to have right here. So this is one of the planes from the American Expeditionary Force with the Air Service Medal that you're going to have right here. And it's the 2 coin set. Now here's the deal. As a 2 coin set, the government only made about 10,000 of each one of these. They sold out, I mean, is there something faster than instantly? I mean, it's sold out faster than instantly. It's by the time it got on the website, the pre-orders, they just were there and then disappeared. And so they were instant sellouts in 2018. I saved a few of these. These are sold out limited editions from last year, from 2018, like I said. So I've got the Air Force, Air Expeditionary Force that we're going to have right there. And then I'm going to have it with this same exact one. We're going to do the...
So that was Air Force.
There's 5 branches of service were sold out of Coast Guard. Okay, it was the rarest one. I think they did 8,500. So this is Army here.
Army's our next one.
Okay, Army is the next one. And so they're going to have the